Hey everyone, and welcome. So you've probably heard the word agile being thrown around, right? It's in meetings, it's on job descriptions, it's a huge buzzword. But what does it actually mean? Well, today we're going to break it all down and demystify one of the biggest ideas in the modern workplace.
But first, let's kick things off with a problem that honestly we can all relate to. Just think about a massive project you've seen, a new piece of software, a huge marketing campaign, anything. Why is it that after months, sometimes even years of hard work, the final product so often just misses the mark, or it's already out of date by the time it finally launches?
Well, a lot of the time, the answer lies in how we've traditionally been taught to manage projects. It's an approach that really loves a detailed plan.
Okay, let's really dive into this analogy because it's perfect. The old way of doing things, often called the waterfall method, is kind of like printing out a 20-page turn-by-turn map before you go on a big cross-country road trip. Every single stop, every turn, all planned out months in advance. It feels super safe, right? You've got it all figured out. But what happens when you hit a surprise road closure or a massive unexpected traffic jam? Suddenly, that perfect, rigid plan is completely useless. You're just stuck. And this slide just lays out the difference perfectly. Over on the left, you see that traditional waterfall method. It's a straight, linear path. You go from A to B to C, and once a step is done, you don't go back. But on the right, you see Agile. It's not a straight line, it's a loop. It's a continuous cycle of building a little, getting feedback, and then adapting. This iterative cycle means you're constantly checking in to make sure you're still on the right road, which is an absolute game changer for staying relevant. So, all this frustration with these rigid, follow-the-plan no matter what projects, well, it led to a quiet revolution, a totally new way of thinking about how we work.
And the big turning point was in 2001. Get this, 17 software developers who were just fed up with projects failing under the weight of their own bureaucracy, they all met up at a ski resort in Utah. Now, they weren't there to ski, they were there to find a better way. And what came out of it was a short, super powerful document called the Agile Manifesto.
And this right here is one of their absolute core ideas. They realized that the success of a project doesn't come from having the perfect process or the fanciest new software. No, it comes from smart, motivated people actually talking to each other, collaborating, and solving problems together. So these are the 4 pillars of Agile. Now here's the crucial point. This doesn't mean the things on the right, like having a plan or writing documentation, are worthless. Not at all. It just means that in the world of Agile, the things on the left are valued more. A working product that people can actually use is way more valuable than a 100-page manual about it. A happy customer is more important than winning a contract negotiation. And the ability to respond to change is valued more than just blindly following a plan that's not working anymore. So, okay, the manifesto gives us the philosophy, the mindset. But how do you actually do it? Let's take a look at the most popular way to put Agile into action, a framework called Scrum. At the very heart of Scrum is this repeating cycle called a sprint. Think of it as a short burst of really focused work that follows 4 simple steps. First, the team plans what it can deliver. Second, they get their heads down and they build it. Third, and this is key, they review the finished work with the actual stakeholders to get real feedback. And finally, the team takes a breath and holds what's called a retrospective to figure out how they can get even better. Then, the cycle starts all over again. It's this constant loop of learning and improving. And that's the secret to a sprint. It's time-boxed. That means it has a fixed length, usually 2 to 4 weeks. And that isn't just a suggestion, it's a hard deadline. This predictable rhythm creates a steady, sustainable pace and makes sure the team is constantly delivering something valuable, not just talking about delivering something valuable. And to keep that sprint on track, teams have a daily stand-up. Now, this is not a long, boring status meeting. No way. It's a quick 15-minute huddle where everyone syncs up on what they're doing and, most importantly, calls out any roadblocks immediately. That way, the team can swarm on the problem and get it out of the way. It's all about communication and momentum. Now, this all started with software, yeah, but the really amazing thing is how these ideas have spread. Agile is not just for coders anymore, not by a long shot. I mean, just take PayPal. To compete in this super fast-moving world of fintech, they couldn't afford to do yearly product releases. So they did what they called a big bang transformation, shifting hundreds of their teams to an agile way of working almost overnight. And that move was absolutely crucial for them to get new ideas out to market way faster. Or look at a company like Toyota. The manufacturing giant's famous lean philosophy, which is all about eliminating waste, was actually a huge inspiration for Agile in the first place. And now they've adopted Agile practices back into their system, using them to make sure the cars they're building are perfectly aligned with what customers actually want right now.
And then, of course, you've got Spotify. As they grew into a massive company, they developed their own famous model. They organized their people into squads, these small autonomous teams that act like little mini startups. And related squads form a tribe. It's this unique structure that lets them stay incredibly innovative and fast, even as a huge global company.
So as you can see from all these examples, this is really about more than just a set of rules or ceremonies that you have to follow. It's much deeper than that. And if there's one thing you take away from all this, it's this. Agile, at its core, is a mindset. It's a cultural shift. It's about empowering teams, embracing feedback, and valuing the courage to change course when you learn something new. It's a deep commitment to collaboration, to continuous improvement, and, most importantly, to delivering real value to real people, faster. And that kind of leaves us with a final thought to take with you. Instead of seeing change as a threat, as something that's going to wreck your perfect plan, what if you started to see it as an opportunity? Just think, how could your team, your project, or even your own daily work benefit if you really, truly started to welcome change?